Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sify Technologies financial results for fiscal year 2021-2022 conference call. At this time, all participants have been placed on a listen-only mode, and the floor will be open for questions and comments after the presentation. It is now my pleasure to turn the floor over to your host, Praveen Krishna. Sir, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Hallie. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our participants on behalf of Sify Technologies Limited. I'm joined on the call today by Raju Veksana, Chairman, Kamal Nath, Chief Executive Officer, and MP Vijay Kumar, Chief Financial Officer. Following our comments on the results, there will be an opportunity for questions. If you do not have a copy of our press release, please call Grayling Global at 646-284-9400 and we will have one sent to you. Alternatively, you may obtain a copy of the release at the Investor Information section on the company's corporate website at www.sifytechnologies.com/investors. A replay of today's call may be accessed by dialing in on the numbers provided in the press release or by accessing the webcast in the Investor Information section of the Sify corporate website. Some of the financial measures referred to during this call and in the earnings release may include non-GAAP measures. Sify results for the year are according to the International Financial Reporting Standard or IFRS and will differ somewhat from the GAAP announcements made in previous years. A presentation of the most directly comparable financial measures calculated and presented in accordance with GAAP and a reconciliation of such non-GAAP measures and of the differences between such non-GAAP measures and the most comparable financial measures calculated and presented in accordance with GAAP will be made available on Sify's website. Before we continue, I'd like to point out that certain statements contained in the earnings release and on this conference call are forward-looking statements rather than historical facts and are subject to risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from those described. With respect to such forward-looking statements, the company seeks protections afforded by the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. These risks include a variety of factors, including competitive developments and risk factors listed from time to time in the company's SEC reports and public releases. Those lists are intended to identify certain principal factors that could cause actual results to differ materially from those described in the forward-looking statements, but are not intended to represent a complete list of all risks and uncertainties inherent to the company's business. I would now like to introduce you to my chairman, Mr. Raju Veksana. Chairman.
Thank you, Ravi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this call. I want to say, over the past few years, the hyperscaler cloud providers, invested significant amount in India, convinced about the growth of India regarding the IT. Second, the government of India initiative of digital transformation have turned India into a proving ground for the local startup ecosystem, considered to be the third largest in the world. And over the time, the enterprises pent-up demand for the automation post-pandemic has now stabilized into long-term IT overall plan. They're now taking a comprehensive view of their overall IT architecture and aligning with the best breed of services for multi-services and multi-year contracts. Sify, our position as a comprehensive ICT player and the integration of our service portfolio gives us an advantage over the emerging scenarios and ability to capture multiple services. Now, I will ask our CEO, Mr. Kamal Nath, present the detailed analysis of our last year accomplishment. Kamal, over to you.
Thank you, Raju. Thank you, Raju. Enterprises across verticals are all actively pursuing digital initiatives ranging from digitalization of existing processes, digital intelligence of customer preferences, enhancement of digital experience for their consumers, and launch of new digital businesses. Towards that end, all enterprises are investing in upgrading and augmenting their current infrastructure and making it digital ready. Our cloud-ready data center and network infrastructures, related digital infrastructure services, and core digital services provide a great choice to our customers in enabling their initiatives and meeting their digital ambitions. Our growth story will continue to be built on these three strategic pillars, be it asset-led or asset-independent engagement models with our customers. Let me now expand on the business highlights for the year 2021-22. Revenue from data center colocation services for FY21-22 grew by 35% over last year. Revenue from digital services for FY21-22 fell by 1% over last year. Revenue from network-centric services for FY21-22 grew by 7% over last year. The revenue split between the businesses for the year was data center colocation services 28%, digital services at 28%, and network-centric services at 44%. Through the year, Sify has invested a total of $350,000 in startups in the Silicon Valley area as part of our corporate venture capital initiative. Sify commissioned a total of 11 megawatt data center capacity across the country in the year. As on 31st March 2022, Sify provides services via 816 fiber nodes and more than 1,900 wireless base stations across the country, a 12% and 6% increase respectively over last year. A detailed list of our key wins is recorded in our press release, now live on our website. Let me bring in Vijay, our CFO, to elaborate on the financial highlights for the year. Vijay?
Thank you, Kamal. Good morning, everyone. Let me briefly sum up the financial performance for the financial year 2021-2022. Revenue was INR 27026 million, an increase of 11% over last year. EBITDA was INR 6034 million, an increase of 19% over last year. Profit before tax was INR 1846 million, an increase of 15% over last year. Profit after tax was INR 1353 million, with a decrease of 12% over last year. During the previous financial year, the company had recognized deferred tax assets of INR 600 million based on assessment of reasonable certainty of future taxable income in the individual entities of the group. Capital expenditure during the fiscal which just ended was INR 7144 million. 2021-2022 marked Sify's commitment to sustainable investing, starting with data center business. The adoption of renewable energy for powering up our data centers is proceeding along the stated timeline. Following the trifurcation of the businesses into separate legal entities, which are wholly owned subsidiaries of Sify Technologies Limited, they are now free to pursue partnerships for technology and capital to build operating effectiveness while leveraging the benefits of a unified sales and marketing team to execute the go-to-market strategy. Over the long term, it will help us build more operating effectiveness while retaining our identity as the only true converged ICT services player. We continue to make selective investments in particular on people and tools to meet the customer's digital transformation demand. Our commitment to expand our data center footprint and network remains while staying disciplined on the fiscal health. Cash balance as at end of the year was INR 4591 million. I will now hand it over to your chairman for his closing remarks. Chairman.
Thank you, Jaquar. As I stated before, the government of initiative for a digital transformation of the country and our enterprise demand for a multi-services and multi-year contracts, positioning us in a unique, comprehensive ICT player. Integration of our services portfolios gives an advantage view of the emerging scenario and ability to cater to this demand. Thank you for joining us on this call. Now I will hand over to the operators for questions. Operator?
Ladies and gentlemen, the floor is now open for questions. If you have any questions or comments, please press star 1 on your phone at this time. We ask that while posing your question, you please pick up your handset if listening on speakerphone to provide optimum sound quality. Please hold while we poll for questions. Your first question for today is coming from Greg Burns. Please announce your affiliation, then pose your question.
Yes, Greg Burns from Sidoti & Company. Good morning. So I just wanted to start with this idea that the fact that you have multitude of services, the network, the data center services. That's an advantage for Sify in terms of capturing demand. Could you just talk maybe about an example of where either you've had a customer that has started with one service, how you've expanded there, or how that's been an advantage for you, and maybe contrast that to the competitors that you have in India. How you differentiate yourself through that multitude of services. Thank you.
Kamal, can you address Kamal?
Yes. Yes. So there are quite a number of customers. One of the largest customers, which in fact happens to be the largest bank in India, and one of the largest global banks, State Bank of India. We had network services initially with them, and after that, they became our data center customer with almost now 650 racks plus, as well as we are doing the complete network managed services and network security managed services for them across all their branches as well as data centers and branches across the globe also. So this is one example where 3 towers, network, data center, and services, such a large bank has partnered with Sify Technologies. Got multiple other customers for whom we have done, for example, for National Stock Exchange, we are managing the network. We provide them some network infrastructure services as well as cloud and cloud managed services. We have a whole lot of insurance companies who have partnered with us for entire data center and cloud transformation as they moved away from the erstwhile system integration model to cloud-based, digital-ready model. And we have at least 4 to 5 of such life insurance and general insurance companies who have partnered with us, apart from a lot of other manufacturing companies. So to summarize, every network customer is an opportunity for Sify for data center and digital services opportunities. Every data center customer to start with is an opportunity for us for network and digital services, and in the mix of all the services. There are also engagements where we initially started with digital services, with complete operations outsourcing, but later on when the customer took their cloud transformation journey, they have subscribed to Sify's cloud services. So overall, the opportunities for us, irrespective of our landing zone, the first contact with the customer is wide for us. I hope that answers your question.
It does. And could you just, we discussed the competitive landscape, how differentiated is Sify in terms of the breadth of your services?
Yes. So in fact, our competition landscape is pretty spread out. In the data center space, we compete with NTT, STT, Control S, this kind of direct competition. In the network space, we compete with the likes of Airtel and Tata Communications and Jio. On the cloud transformation space, we compete with the likes of Kyndryl now and NTT to a global Indian MNCs like TCS, Wipro, HCL, Kyndryl, which is the spin-out division of IBM. In the digital transformation space, we compete with the likes of TCS, IBM, and a whole lot of new age cloud services companies who are niche boutique firms. Maybe these are not very big names, but they are doing stronger in the market. So overall, we have multiple kinds of competition in multiple segments, but with our cloud at the core, offering ranging from data center, network, which are cloud aligned, as well as the services on top of this infrastructure which we own and we offer to our customers. And also on top of that, our partnership with the leading hyperscale cloud providers make it a very compelling proposition for Sify from our side, and for customers, they need not go to multiple service providers or multiple technology providers to stitch up the entire digital ICT platform for themselves.
Okay, perfect. And we can talk about your data center capacity. How many megawatts do you currently have online, and what the plans are for this coming fiscal year in terms of capacity additions?
Yeah, Vijay, you may like to answer this.
Great. So we have close to 100 megawatts in operations, and we are building 100 more megawatts in the project stage.
Okay. And that's over the next 12 to 18 months. Like, is there a time frame on kind of when that, or is it multiple years? Like, what's the time frame on?
Yeah, that is
that
the next 18
maybe?
months. 18 months.
Okay. And then you mentioned your cash position. Where did the debt balance stand at the end of the year?
Yeah, so Greg, as far as the cash balance is concerned, we have about 450 million of cash available, 4500 million of cash available. And equally important, you are aware about the partnership we have with an alternative investment fund for further capital for our expansion. And we have done financial closure for all our greenfield projects which are currently underway. So we are well capitalized to execute all our expansion projects.
Okay. I might have missed it, but the total debt or the where you are in terms of that at the end of the year?
As far as the total debt is concerned, the total debt is about 7,000 million rupees INR. And on top of that, we had the recent investment from the alternate investment fund, which is convertible into equity at a later date, which is of another 2,000 million.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. That's all I had for now. I'll hop back in the queue. Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Once again, if there are any questions or comments, please press star one on your phone at this time. You have a follow-up question coming from Greg Burns. Greg, your line is live.
I just had one more if there's no one else. Can you just give us an update on the Indian economy? It sounds like from your comments, you're pretty bullish, and it seems like we've moved past kind of the depths of the pandemic. But could you just give us a update on what's happening on kind of a macro level in India? Thank you.
So then I was traveling last 6-7 weeks in India, and I am very bullish. The kind of the steps government is taking for the growth, and also it's not only the government, enterprises also very bullish. So those are the two things I see a lot of energy, positive energy growing in the country, and that's the way we believe there's a great potential for us, as an ICT player.
Okay, great. Thanks for the update.
Once again, if there are any questions or comments, please press star 1 on your phone at this time. There are no further questions in queue. I would like to turn the floor back over to management for any closing comments.
Thank you for your time on this call. We look forward to interacting with you through the year. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This does conclude today's event. You may disconnect your phone lines at this time and have a wonderful day. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Hurley, for the support.